The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRC Media, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
Well, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Another edition of Table Topics, right?
Table Topics. And we were off last week because we had just came from Portugal the day before, and believe me, I was tired.
It was tired. It was, to me, it was worse going over, more tired going over, but yeah, I'm glad we had a day, the 4th of July, to kind of relax and not do anything. You know?
Yeah. So, and we went back again to Portugal, and I bought another group. This time, very happy that our group they got along so good. Yeah. Everybody becomes like a big family, and they all ask for each other, where's this one, where's that one, you know. But John, once again, went to Portugal. Yep. And what did you think this time?
I mean, it was the same as last time. I mean, I enjoyed it. You know, it's not something, I wouldn't go back to a place twice if I didn't like it. So it was nice. I mean, I really enjoyed it. Hadn't been on a trip in a while. I think the worst part of the trip for me was when we landed in Logan Airport. That was the absolute worst part of the trip. And if anybody from Massport's listening, it was an absolute disgrace that day that we landed.
It's funny that you say that because it's a lot of work to plan everything. Yeah. And that's something that we cannot plan for something like that. We had left in time. Everything was checked in time. Everybody had a good time. Yeah. We checked into San Michael. We had the bus waiting for us. Then we have the tours. The bus was always in time there. Yeah. You know, the driver, very nice. Yeah. They brought us back to the airport. We
had more than enough time,
right? Enough time to relax, not rush, nothing, until we got back to Boston.
Exactly.
And then that's when
all heck broke loose. I'm sorry, I don't know what you can say on TV.
I mean, as soon as we landed, we got another good news. Yeah. We landed half an hour before, so that means that with the trip was, you did an excellent job bringing us back. We landed half an hour before the time. Yeah. But then we have to wait 20 minutes so we could get the gate to get into because the gate that we were supposed to go into still had a plane there, which was in time. Yeah. You know, it was in time. Yeah. But got a lot worse was for us to grab our bags because we at the 3E gate. Yeah. We were 3E. So eventually the bags should come out at 3E. Yeah. And we were told to go to 6E. So we all went around the bag carpet there, nothing. We wait half an hour? Yep. A good half an hour.
Oh, yeah.
A good half an hour that we wait for the luggage. Yeah. Then they told us, no, I'm sorry, it's on E3. So that's what we figured out. Yeah. So everybody went to E3. Yeah. Then we were at E3 and we were told, no, it's on A1. Yeah. So E1. Yeah. So we're all to E1. Yeah. Then, no, I'm sorry, it's back to E3. Yeah. Which, from the beginning, we knew the plane was E3 gate. Yeah. But that's it. John Haraway said, I'm back to America.
It was. I mean, I understand we're having issues in this country. What kind of was frustrating was, we got back on a long trip, but when we were at the airport, if you looked at each turnstile, there was a flight from London, Reykjavik, Iceland, I think Paris. So not all Americans were getting off that plane. So we just presented a terrible image when they got off the plane and nobody knew where the thing were. And I think what got me frustrated is it's like, it said Punta Delgada here, we're waiting. And they're like, no, it's not there anymore. So I go down and I'm like, they changed that dang sign on there too. And it's still not there, you know? And people are like, no, I'm waiting for London. It's like, well, they told us to come. It was just ridiculous. It really was ridiculous. I asked somebody that was there, and they're like, I have no idea. It's like, well, could somebody get on the phone and figure this out? Somebody's dropping these things somewhere, right? Can we figure out and get on the loudspeaker and say, hey, sorry for the confusion? Nothing, you know? So, to say the least, it was a little frustrating to come back here.
But at least we had the bus waiting for us.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the other thing. How many people were inconvenienced? Like, what if somebody had somebody picking them up like the bus was?
Yeah.
But, you know, say it was an elderly person picking up like a grandkid or something. They're sitting outside there for an hour and a half, 2 hours, because I think we landed at 7. We didn't get on the bus till, what, 10?
Yeah, and it happened to me couple of years ago that I landed in time, but the bags took so long that by the time I came out, the bus that was supposed to bring me to Fall River was gone. They said, you know, we waited like for an hour. We waited for an hour. I had people that needed to go, so they just went. So I had to call my daughter to go pick me up in Boston, and this was like 11 o'clock at night or so. But anyway, other than that, a beautiful trip. People enjoy. People had a good time there. And I do have a few pictures that I was able to send to our producer, so we can probably go through those pictures. So here we are, Kapalish. We had this excellent meal with these singers that even somebody like John that don't know what they were singing about enjoyed it, because it's a traditional song from there.
And I may butcher it, but was it a Germano restaurant?
Germano, yes.
All right, so I did get it right then, So it was really, it's funny, Carlos, because when you drive up, it's just like this building around all farms. So I'm like, this is the restaurant, and you go in.
And you see how tight it was for the bus to turn, you know?
But it was like really, when you go in, and then they had this nice back room. And you know, you couldn't see the water. The windows were small, but it was totally comfortable in there. So sometimes looks are deceiving from the outside. It's like, this place is in the middle of nowhere.
And believe me, I didn't know this place. I found this place on Facebook. And I friended them, and then I contacted them. What we are watching right now is the traditional cuisine de Furnish. That's the meal it's cooked on the ground at Furnish, and then it's served at this restaurant that we had, that we then went and eat there. What do you think about that Portuguese food?
It was very good. It was very good. I enjoyed it.
It tastes different because of the heat that it's cooked on the ground, don't you think?
I didn't think it tasted.
No,
I didn't think. I mean, it tasted just.
You're getting so used to Portugal.
Yeah, probably. I mean, my mom and grandmother used to make that when I was a kid, so it tasted the same thing. Here we would call it boiled dinner, but I mean, it's I don't know what they call it in Portuguese, but we would call it boiled dinner. So yeah, I'm probably so used to that stuff that it didn't taste any different to me.
The next picture that we're going to see is, look who's hot spring waters,
Thanks,
pools,
Carlos.
you know, look at you.
Well, the funny part is about this picture, all right, so now, so I don't feel as bad now. When I went back the next day with my wife, and that first pool I was in was a cool pool. The rest of them were really hot. When I went back the next day, they had the gate open, so you couldn't go into that anymore because the water was only like this high. So yeah, no, it was really nice. I went there the second day, very nice. It was raining, but it didn't matter because the water was so nice.
So it is a small charge they do, but that was included too. So this is the cuisine de Furnish. This is that's my sister-in-law and her son and my wife. Enjoying the meal at the Furnish, And here's, that was high.
Yeah, is that Lagoa
du Fogo? Lagoa
yeah.
du Fogo. A nice viewer. And here we can see our friend George Mallow and Teresa. They go in my bus trips.
Yeah.
They always, I book them every bus trip.
Really?
They go in with me.
They told me, yeah.
Now they start going overseas with me too. So I joke a lot with him because he's from another island. He's from Terceira.
Sure, yeah.
And St. Michael and Terceira, we always pick at each other.
Yeah.
So I always pick on him that he don't have that in Terceira. And sometimes he say, you're right, we don't have that in Terceira.
Yeah.
So this is the bus that give us the tours there. And believe it or not, I took this picture because it was at the airport waiting for us. So Fall River don't have a trolley. Ponta Delgada have buses.
Yeah.
This is a city, it's not a city bus, this is the City Hall bus.
Yeah.
That it's there just for tourism. They use it a lot for tourism. When they have concerts there, they need to pick up the bands at the airport, bring them to hotels and everything. Yeah. And they, thanks to my good friend José Andrade, that's the secretary for the communities, they provide me, and the mayor of Ponta Delgada provide me always with this excellent, and we've been so lucky to have good drivers all the time, you know, and they go way beyond what they can do for us to accommodate us.
Yeah, I think you were trying to kill the guy the second day. I think you were trying to kill him. But actually, before we go to this, what's interesting is with the bus drivers, how when you go into a town like Furnas, and am I pronouncing that right?
Furnas, yeah.
If when you go into a town, the buildings are like, you know, right on the road, and they've sometimes got maybe 5 inches, I swear to God, to get through, and people are in the bus going, and it's like, relax, don't get the guy riled up, you know what I mean? But they're just excellent drivers, you know?
It was a few ones that you said he's not going to make it.
Yeah, there were a few hairy ones that I was
they're not
just
going to make it. And he's like, he's this close, but he goes through. It's unbelievable. Here it was. People still happy, but that was our last moments in Ponta Delgada. That was on our way back before we had just put the luggage on the bus. But I said, let's take a last picture here. So everybody was happy that coming back to Fall River, you know, but excellent group. This is the location that you said, Germano Cervejeria, that you said that you see the front, but you don't see what's on the back.
Because it looks so small from the outside. It's like, you know.
And it's you see how you go behind the bar and you go through that door and it's a bigger place on the back.
Yeah.
But yes, we had an excellent meal there. And here's another picture of the group, and this was again in Lagoa do Fogo, and you know, everybody had such a good time there. Excellent. Yeah. First day I got there, we had the city employees again doing more parking, because this used to be all sidewalk all the way to the streets, but they are putting the sidewalk.
Yeah, probably replacing it.
No, they're putting the sidewalk shorter.
Oh, okay.
So they can make more parking spaces for cars to park.
Cool.
So that's right on the waterfront. You kind of can see the port on the back, and that's where they do the tours going up to. And you can see Portas do Mar saying right there, Portas do Mar. So this is right downtown on the waterfront. I took this picture, and I think it was excellent because over there, that's what you see. That's all. It's all rock.
Yeah.
You know, and they don't put cement over. They just take it apart and they redo everything from scratch. So very good.
I think that and the weather helps with that too, I'm sure.
Yes, and that kind of tides up and everything.
Yeah.
So I I think I can announce it already. Sorry,
hello.
my phone was still on. And
Well, yeah.
that's Jean St. Pierre, probably booking for my next show tomorrow. But here's the thing. I think I'm going to, I can start announcing that our trip to St. Michael next year is going to be during the Santo Cristo feast. Santo Cristo is definitely the biggest feast that they do in Azores and probably in the entire Portugal, because it's thousands and thousands and thousands of immigrants that go there from everywhere, all over the world. They go there, and if I want to be there that week, I'm gonna have to book it as soon as possible.
Yeah.
And as soon as I send an email to our hotel, they told us let us know as soon as possible, because we don't have many rooms already.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I booked it. I just got the email. It's locked, 15 rooms. So I'm counting bringing 30 people for Santo Cristo feast. I'm just waiting for the prices now for Sata, and I'm trying to keep the price the same.
Yeah.
I think it's affordable for a person that wants to go, especially with all the accommodations that and all that it's included on.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can just attest to. I mean, nothing's cheap right now, but it's kind of hard to go, because a lot of times when I would travel, I would just get the hotel and the airfare, and then you're dealing with getting the tickets for everything you're doing. But I have to say, with Carlos, it was your airfare, your hotel. You get to the airport, you're driven there. When you leave. I mean, when you get there, you're driven to the hotel. When you leave, you're driven to the airport. And when you get home, breakfast is included. The dinners are included. And wine. Yeah, with wine or beer, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know where you can get anything that affordable. If you go through like a travel agency, you're going to pay more than that, because I know they have to boost up for them to make money. But I've done it twice. It's great. I don't know how you do it, because there were other things. Remember, we were at that hot tub place. I can't pronounce it. Yeah. And Carlos goes up in front of the group, and he goes in and he's paying the folks there. It was I don't know, 8 or 10 euros to get in there.
Eight a piece.
Yeah. But I didn't. I thought we had to pay for that ourselves. So I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, no, it's included. So there were things like that would have cost you money. But it was already included, so I was surprised.
Well, the only thing that was not included was the lunches, because again, the people have days off, and I don't know where they're going to go. They go to their hometowns and everything. So, but they know that at 7 o'clock they have the whole meal at the hotel when they come back. But out of those 6 days, we still have 2 lunches that was included.
Yes, correct. I forgot that. You're right. You're right.
Out of those, so it was not. You don't even have to pay the entire 6 lunches. You paid like 4 lunches out of your pocket, because we had the lunch at Furnish, and we had the cervejeria Germano. So
it's like I said. We would go a lot of times to get ice cream, like for lunch. Because you're not really, if you're eating breakfast, you're not really hungry at 10, 12 or 3 or whatever, and then we'd eat later on. But I have to say, even there, if you don't, one night at supper time, we didn't want to eat, we were out walking around. So we went to a restaurant that's like right near the gates. And I can't remember the name of it, but the church is right across the street. Really pretty, you sit outside. And we had 2 burgers, we had like 3 cappuccinos, a glass of wine and soda, and it was like 24 euro. I was just like, I read the bill, I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I mean, it costs more than $25 sometimes to go to Chipotle or McDonald's, and we sat down and you know what I mean.
I think that's the one that I sit down to, and I think my bill came up to 13 euros or something like that. So the food, it's not expensive there. The food is not expensive at all.
I mean, I feel bad for the people that live there, but for us going there, you go even into their supermarket, and it's like, I bought pasta from there. It's like 80 euro, 80 cents or whatever the euro is. Cookies, I always buy a whole bunch of that and bring it back.
That you went shopping for cookies there.
So I mean, that was like €1. I mean, you can't even get a small package around here for $1. You know, so everything is, at least for us, more reasonable. So yeah, it's a great place to visit.
So we trying to. I mean, I already make the reservations at the hotel. We good to go for Santo Cristo next year. This group and this idea when we started was just like we help the kids in school and all of that, but we help a lot the seniors. Matter of fact, we have a picnic in a couple of weeks. We're going to have a picnic at the Fall River picnic grounds, like we did last year. But I had a few people saying, Carlos, you know, I would love to go there. I don't go there for so many years, but my daughter cannot take time from work. You know, it's too expensive for her to bring the kids and everything. So, I mean, if it was like a group, so that's why I said, let me see if this is going to work. Yeah. I open to everybody. That lady that went with us with 6 family members, you know, she last time she went there was like 34 years ago or something like that. So yes, can I bring my daughter and the husband and my grandkids? Sure, you can. So and that's pretty much what we've been doing. So and we make it so affordable that people even can pay slowly. That's why I want to book this as soon as possible, because as soon as I book, the more time people have to actually split the payments and start paying on. But I have people that went with us that already asking, put my name down. I want to go again, and you know. So I'm pretty sure I want to have a problem to fill 30 people. Yeah. I don't want to bring more than 32 because, like you see, 30 people is a good group, you know. Yeah. And then I have the bus there, probably fits 40 or 45 people, but this way everybody sits.
Yeah, you can spread out, which is nice, you know. And I think once you go over 30, it becomes unmanageable at times. Nobody wants to come back at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, when you have 30 people, you can kind of like say, where were you?
Yeah. So the maximum I bought there was 26 people, I believe. That was 2019, I believe it was 26 people. Originally it was 30, but then I have some cancellations at the last minute. So I end up putting there 26 people. But from the Azores, we have 6 minutes left. And all over the news, talking nationally now. Yeah. On the last 6 minutes
I didn't watch anything when I was out there. When I came back, I started watching a few things. Nationally, I think today they had the January 6th committee. You know, people, you believe what you believe, and you know, so that's out there.
You think somebody's gonna get jail time?
I don't really. You know what I mean? It was just a big mess. You know what I mean? That whole thing was a big mess. So there's other things out there that I would like to see happen as well. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I don't think they're going to be held accountable. So if you're not going to hold people accountable, you can't hold people on the other side accountable. Mm-hmm. And I'll just give you a good example. In New York City, I don't know if you'd seen, there was a 50-something-year-old man working in a variety store, or bordello, I guess they call it, and some girl went in, and the guy's like, no, you're not going to get potato chips for free. You got to pay for them. You know, and her credit card declined, so she's all ticked off. She goes out to her boyfriend. The boyfriend comes in, starts yelling at the guy, 50 years old, comes behind the counter, starts pushing him. And the girlfriend comes in and is stabbing him. And he comes around and he stabs the guy. Well, the guy dies. They brought him to Rikers Island, the 50-year-old guy, and charged him with murder. He's still being charged with murder, but he was out on, bail or whatever. But I'm thinking to myself, you go in, you assault the man, your girlfriend stabs the man, he stabs you back, and you get killed, and he's gone to jail. The girlfriend didn't go to jail, or she was defending herself. So wasn't the man. He's not the one that went in there screaming and punching people and stabbing people. Yeah. So he defended himself. So it's like, we can't have it both ways in this country. It's kind of like, somebody started something, and then they end up defending themselves, and they're the ones that are going to jail.
Yeah.
It's simply amazing, and that's what I find is happening now in our criminal justice system. There's only one side that's getting, the criminals are the ones that seem to be getting away with, excuse the pun, but murder, and people that are defending themselves in their homes or in their businesses are getting charged if they do anything. So I guess it would have been better if that guy would have got stabbed by the girlfriend, and then he wouldn't have gone to jail, but he would have been dead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Well, it's going to be interesting what's going to come out of this meetings that they're having right now. One thing that I've been finding is the big Trump supporters. They kind of getting themselves like, that was his fault. They're trying to get away blaming Trump.
Well,
just they can get away with.
Yeah, well, everybody's responsible for their own actions. I know there was a lot of hyped up before that happened. But, people can hype you up. I can hype you up too. That don't mean you should go jump off the bridge if you know it's wrong. So, I mean, people got hyped up and stuff there, but you don't go in and attack police. You don't do that. You know it's wrong. I don't care what they're saying, So, but I find interesting though, right? So we hear this, how bad this was, and I'm not saying it was a good thing. But over the weekend in Sri Lanka, they've been having issues for about a month, and it's an island off the coast of India, Sri Lanka. And there's been like high inflation and on and on and on. So it looked kind of like what happened in the Capitol, and the Prime Minister resigned. They went storming into his presidential palace, and then they were swimming in the swimming pool. And our media here in the U.S. said they were so upset with the government, and here they are having fun swimming in the swimming pool. Can you imagine that happening here? And this is our media. This is how they're portraying it. They stormed and they took over the government because that prime minister resigned. And they were swimming in the pool and they're eating food out of the guy's kitchen. So it's just, when you watch news in this country, you really got to sometimes listen to see, we're listening to this January 6th thing. I'm not condoning it. I don't think it was right. But you have Sri Lanka and they're saying, well, look, they're having a party. They took over the government. They're having a party and swimming in the pool. It just amazes me. You know what I mean? It absolutely amazes me. And just one, because I'll finish this out here because I'm going to give you a break. You did some talking. The Japanese prime minister was assassinated in Japan. If you watch the news, they were like, he was a right-winger. He was this, that, and the other thing. He got voted in unanimously by that country. The man was murdered. You're saying he was this, that, and the other thing. Give him some peace. But we had a terrorist when Trump was in. Remember that Trump took out? It was a terror. And they were like, he was a humanitarian. The New York Times put in the paper. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. So that's why I don't take a lot of credence in the news.
We have a minute left just to remind you that tonight is City Council meeting.
Oh, I was asking yesterday about that. My daughter was asking about it. I said, oh, we haven't seen it.
You already have the popcorn. Make sure Allison puts the popcorn in the microwave because don't bother me for the next 3 hours.
She watches it too.
Oh,
but we're on our phones playing games, so it's not like if you go there, you're a captive audience. You know what I mean?
You're not like throwing popcorn at each other, are you?
I'm just, we're just sitting there, whatever.
See you guys next week, same time, same channel. Have a great week.
Bon talk.
What time?